Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Spotify interview question. Find the top ranked songs for the past 20 years in pySpark. I'm Clean Code, you are you, and I am so happy you are here to work on this problem with me today. So let's go ahead, let's try and go get better, and let's figure this one out. So our problem statement reads, find all of the songs that were top ranked, meaning at like position 1, at least once in the past 20 years. And then if we go ahead and look at our data, we can see we have 6 columns, although in examining the question statement, I don't think we need all 6. ID looks like a vestige of our SQL, so I think we're good at removing that. I also don't think we're going to need artist or group name, because if we read our problem statement again, we'll see, hey, we actually aren't asked for that at all. So I think we have a pretty good understanding of where we're going to be today. Let's jump over to the notebook and break this problem down. Okay, so like I mentioned before, let's go ahead and we're just going to take off ID, artist, and group name. We know we're not going to use them, so let's just try and free up some brain space while we're working, and that way we don't even bother looking at them. We only have 3 to look at. Now, highlighting important words in our problem statement, all the songs, first position, at least once, past 20 years. Now, something in here is telling us that there's an edge case we need to be worried about. And if we really think hard, it's this at least once. And if we think about this like logically, a song could have consecutive years ranked number 1. I mean, that's not an unbelievable proposition to make about the music streaming industry. It could happen. So when we think about helper functions to solve this problem in pySpark, our first thought needs to be, I'm going to forget the exact, hold on one second. So we're going to need to import the SQL functions. This is like the magic in pySpark, and it really makes life a whole lot easier. So if we use the SQL functions inside of pySpark, what we can do then is we can grab filter, we can grab the column, we're going to use a select, and then for the at least once, we're going to have a drop duplicate function as well. That's going to take care of that edge case, and then finally we're going to need a to pandas, and this is kind of just code editor specific. So we don't actually need a to pandas to solve this problem, but we're going to need that for the code editor. But the real beauty of pySpark, in my opinion, is the fact you can leverage SQL functions, which makes it really, really nice to use. So our plan of attack, and quickly, optimizing most code at the data scientist, data analyst level, not super important, with the one exception of using Spark or pySpark, because you can create something that just takes an absolute metric ton of time. So what we want to do when we build our plan of attack is to build things that go from big to little. So step 1 is going to be getting our time window, and that's 20 years. Second, once we're only dealing with 20 years worth of data, we want rank equals 1. So we're going to, essentially partition the data so it's 20 years, and then partition it again so it's the only data in the 20 years is the rank 1. And then finally, we want to get the unique song names. And this is just like a quick and dirty way to be somewhat close to optimized when you're writing pySpark. Obviously there's a whole methodology on how to do it properly, but when we're just trying to solve these interview problems, this is a really easy way to go ahead and get that done. So I think our plan of attack is solid. I think our helper functions match everything that we're trying to do in our problem statement. I think we have all the data we need. So let's go ahead and jump back over into the code editor and solve this problem. Okay, here we are. First things first, we're going to need to import our SQL functions as F, and then over here on line 5, the beauty of pySpark, the real cool thing about it is I think we can do this in one line. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab our data, And then we're going to say, hey, let's make a filter. And let's do that filtering for the year condition. That's right here. And then let's go ahead and filter for the year rank, because these will happen sequentially. Now that we have our year rank, let's go ahead and select a song name. Then we're going to go ahead and drop duplicates, just like we planned. And finally, we're going to put everything to a pandas data frame. And this part is just to make the code editor happy. So we go ahead, we click run code, make sure everything's working nicely. I always get so nervous when this stuff runs, because this can run indefinitely if you're not careful. Okay, cool. Here we are. 4 seconds, feels like a lifetime. Great, looks like we have all the stuff we want. We go ahead and click the button, see if we get the answer right. And we will wait again to see. Okay, and we are back. And our answer was accepted. Life's looking pretty great. We're going to go ahead and do a more in-depth breakdown in after hours, so stick around if you're interested in that. Otherwise, I've been Clean Code. Thank you for watching. Okay, welcome to After Hours. Let's break this code down step by step. Now, pySpark, the way to think about pySpark is, especially when you're doing these kind of like one-line solutions, is they're like carriages on a train. So if we think of it like they're all hooked together and they all get read sequentially. So starting from this filter, right? That filter encompasses all of this. This is what includes in the filter. And then if we break it down again, we're saying, hey, the column year has got to be greater than 2003. And the column year rank needs to be greater than 1. That's how that happens. Now, from this subset, please select song name. And while you're there with song name, please drop the duplicates. And so that is how we get the subsetting of our data correctly based on year and rank. And then out of that subset, we're going to extract song names and then remove all the duplicates and output those duplicate names to pandas. And that's just a really, really slick way of doing it, in my opinion. All right, on behalf of Clean Code, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.